Hello and welcome. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, at least in my own mind, not anyone else's. Steve Cully. Steve Cully. And I'm here because I lost a friend, a great man, someone that I worked with, someone who taught me a lot. And it just still doesn't feel real that he's gone. And that is Mr. James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. James died on Thursday. And I knew, man, I had a feeling something was bad because he never not responds to me. And I called and texted him about the show plan for Thursday, and James did not respond. He didn't respond to calls, texts, or emails, and that wasn't like him. And his girlfriend contacted me and broke the news. And man, it's just it broke my heart. It really did. And I'm just doing this because I want to pay tribute to him. It's just been a really challenging month because when you lose a teammate and friend like CJ Hessel, the guy that you went to war with on the football field, who stood side by side by you, who was your friend, had your back, and then that was so sad and tragic. And James, we weren't friends, like, in the sense of we met and hung out together. James took a chance on me as a podcaster. We connected, and his business was fairly new, Luther James Insurance. And James was an independent agent. I knew nothing about life insurance, but he was cool enough to take a chance on me and be a sponsor. And as you know, as a podcaster, sponsors are how you live and die. Sponsors are how you can make a living. Sponsors are the only way you can survive doing this, because I am not great. I am not Pat McAfee. I am not Joe Rogan. I am not anyone that draws a massive audience. I don't have a massive following. So when you want to make a career out of podcasting, you have to build up your audience, you have to build up your following, and then hopefully you get a sponsor. And we're working towards that. But James took a shot on me back in October for being a sponsor, and we talked about it. And he came on, and I met him. He was just a big personality. He was so smart, and his career path was just intriguing. And so we had him on some of our other shows. We put him on Broker Than You, our business show. And James told his story, man. And it just is incredible. He started off working in cable, going door to door selling cable, and he was phenomenal at it. He then got into fashion, and he spent time at FIT, the fashion, one of the best fashion schools in the world. And he designed his own t-shirts, and he was so creative, and he was such a tremendous designer. He ended up working for FUBU. And I remember talking to him, and he said, "Yeah, you ever heard of FUBU?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard of FUBU." He's like, "Yeah, I created that. I was in charge of that brand." And I was like, "Holy shit!" And he did. I mean, he created and designed so much of FUBU stuff, and he also worked his way up. He was a senior vice president, and then his life completely changed and blew up. And I know the feeling, because that's happened to me so many times, because I'm just a terrible person. But James is not. James is the kindest, sweetest, caring, best guy you could ever meet. James's mother died, and I believe it was unexpected. And they did not have life insurance. They did not have a policy at all. So what happened was, the family, I believe, the brothers, sisters, whoever, they paid out of pocket for everything: the service, the funeral expenses, the burial. And when he saw the cost of it all, he was like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." And he got into life insurance because he never wanted anyone else to be in that situation again. It wasn't about him making a ton of money. It wasn't about him selling policies, making commissions, all that. It was about educating people how important it is to have life insurance, and the consequences you face if you don't. And I was the same way. Listen, I am not a smart man. I am dumb as dog shit. I am ignorant. I thought life insurance was, you die and it covers your funeral costs. That's it. And I was completely wrong. And James was brilliant on being a guest on Broker Than You and a couple other shows. He was great. And I said, "James, we got to start your show. You need to do a show." And it's challenging to make a weekly show on life insurance and do it well, because it's not a topic that people are drawn to. It's not a topic that people are going to listen to. It's not anything popular. So I said, "Listen, we'll give it a shot. We'll try." And he was a sponsor. So I do that with all my sponsors. Any sponsor who wants to have their own show, that's part of the deal, And we started a show, Luther James Insurance. And it was, it didn't draw very well to start, but over 6 months, he grew and built an audience. He built a following. And the reason being is because he cared. He cared about people. And he was honest and direct with them about the policies. And he told them the importance: get a policy when you're young. Because if you get a whole life policy when you're young, then it sticks with you the rest of your life. Whatever health conditions that come up in your 40s or 50s, it doesn't matter. The policy will cover it. If you wait and get insurance later in life, it's going to be more challenging. And he educated people to what affects the policy: mental health, depression, medications. If you're on heart medication, if you're on depression medication like Zoloft or Prozac, all that affects and can prevent you from getting any coverage. But we built an audience and we built a following because I would put together the shows and I wouldn't tell him anything because I wanted natural reactions from him. And I did research. And then we would also get a tremendous contribution from the audience. We had an audience of group. Sorry. We had a big audience who would ask questions on the show every week. Every week. They would ask questions, and James was completely honest with them. James was completely honest. And it kills me because I was supposed to come out and meet him when UConn played St. John's, and there was a massive snowstorm and I couldn't get out. And he was in Connecticut with his girlfriend, and we were going to meet up. And we talked about getting together for UConn at the spring game, which is April 11th. And we were I was giving him good leads. We had set up something that was a game changer with a friend of mine that would have given him a pipeline of clients. And he had a meeting with them. It went so well, and it was starting to take off. We were about to have a second meeting, and that's what I was going to talk to him about. And when he didn't respond, man, I was like, wow. I was like, he's never done that. And then his girlfriend called me and told me what happened. He was supposed to pick her up from work, and he didn't show. And she came home, and he was on the bed, and he was just in a lot of pain. And they took him to the hospital in an ambulance, and then a few hours later, it was over. And it's just at my age, I look at so much because of CJ, and then a few weeks later, James. And I was close to James, not in the sense of hanging out, but we talked. I mean, I knew about him. I knew his life. He knows my life. And just to be honest with people about life insurance and the policies, to not care about making a commission. He would rather educate you and put you in a policy that's best than upcharge you and put you in a policy that he makes a better commission on. And he would show the numbers on the screen for people to see, so they would believe it, because people don't believe how much the life insurance is worth. And what just kills me today, the last episode we did, he was so happy because of his family, because he was able to set up a policy for his daughter. He was able to set up a policy for his grandkids. and know they were taken care of. And it's just so prophetic. I can't think of the word, prophecy, that he just got that set, and a week later he died. So for me, it's just there's not a lot of truly caring, sincere, honest, selfless, genuine people out there. There's not. And James was one of them. And he was in good shape, man. He played basketball all the time. 66 years old. He didn't look it. I mean, he got into insurance when he was 60, and he was so smart. Just a brilliant man. He was able to pass the test because he went through all the practice exams and he memorized the answers, he told me. And he finished first out of anyone. And he became a licensed agent. And we were building him a book of business. I was giving him leads and clients, and we were growing. His last episode that we did, it had 16,000 viewers just on YouTube, and it was around 30,000 after. But it just upsets me the most, because I know I've lost a lot of friends because of my actions, my behaviors, just being a bad person. You know, my friend, I still remember my friend Dan Cercelli, that is one of my best friends in the world. I said, Dan, like, I mean, could you say that I'm a good person? And he said no. And that was several months ago, and I remember hearing that. It just knocked me for a loop. And then the other guys, you know, I miss so much. I just, you know, with Aaron and Dom and Mike. I mean, Mike, at least, God bless him. Mike is the person that shouldn't even talk to me, but he does. Aaron, you know, I was really close with him. And so you just think about the relationships that you have ruined yourself. And I Josh Cup, when I was in Saratoga, he was the one that worked with me, and we got started with the podcasting. Josh and I were a great team, and we were funny. We had the best podcast in Saratoga, Cup of Cully, it was called. And that ended, and I again, you lose people in your life for reasons like this, where they drop dead and unexpectedly, and it's morbid. And then you lose people because of your own behaviors. You lose people because you're I know I've been trying to get to show and prove I'm a better person, but when people don't want to be around you, you can't. Like nobody wants to be around me. And that is something that keeps me up every single night. Josh Cup, he'll never speak to me again. Aaron, he barely responds to me. Dan, I don't think he wants me around. Don, he doesn't have time for me. And it's just I look at it and it's like the most important thing in your life is family and friends. And I had the best group of friends anyone could ask for. But when you're a selfish, manipulative, lying, asshole piece of shit, which I am, even trying to become better, even trying to make amends, even trying to show that you've changed, you can't come back from it. People don't want you around. People don't want to come, they don't want you back from it. So it just made me think of it because, losing CJ. Losing CJ just was a gut punch. And then losing James. Losing James a few weeks later, a gut punch. And then it just makes you think of all the other friends who are there, who are alive, that you just wish you could go talk to and tell them, fuck, man, I screwed up. I love you. I'm sorry. You mean the world to me. And I just wish I could have a relationship with you again and be friends. And it won't happen. I don't deserve it either. I don't deserve it. My favorite blogger, Turtle Boy, did a valid truth journey of certain people. And Steve Cully's valid truth journey is he has mistreated, lied, manipulated his friends, taken advantage of them, used them, and they don't want any part. Matt Tallarico, he'll never talk to me again. Never. I've tried to reach out. He's not going to talk to me. I'll never be forgiven. And it's been years. It's been years. So it makes me really, really, really lose hope. You lose hope. And you stop caring because you know that all the therapy in the world, all the change in the world, it's for nothing. Because your friends don't care. Your friends just remember the destruction and the damage that you did. And I'm 100% responsible and accountable for the damage that I've done. And I would give anything to get a second chance. I would give anything to get a chance just to say goodbye to CJ or goodbye to James. And I won't. But James was amazing. And my friends will never forgive me. I know I don't deserve to be forgiven. And that's what hurts the most, is just knowing that two just died. The ones that I have alive, I can't talk to. I can't fix this. I can't make amends. Nothing I can say or do will matter because of all the lies and all the bad things that I've done. There's no trust. I can never build trust again. So you go on and you're alone, and it just eats you up inside. It really does. It really does. This one hurts. It hurts more just because, not only because James was the best of the best, just the kind, caring, loving person, but it just made me think of the friends that I have that are here, that I'll never be in their lives again. I'll never get to talk to. I'll never have a chance to make amends. I'll never be able to make things right. And that kills me. With Josh Cup, I would do anything. Aaron, I would do anything. Rico, I would do anything. Dan, I would do anything. Dom, I would do anything. Mike, I would do anything. And none of it matters, because there are things you can come back from and things you can't. And the things I've done, I'll never be able to come back from. And that's what hurts the most. Because I have worked and tried to change, and it's been several years. And if I can't be around them to show change, that's what I told my therapist. Like, what is it? Like, why am I bothering? Why am I bothering being here? Yeah, great. I made progress. But who's going to see it? What difference does it make? Not going to make any. Not going to make any. I'm a piece of shit. No, I'm a bad person. And I can't change it. I'll never be able to shake that. And that's how I'll be known. That's how I'll be known. I'm sorry to bring that all up, but it just all comes together for me. This was a tribute to James. I loved working with you, James. You were a pleasure. I looked forward to seeing you every week. That smile on your face. And to listen to you and learn. I learned more about life insurance from you. And I'm so sorry that you're gone. And I wish I could do something more. And that's, again, for anyone, you're never guaranteed tomorrow. The people who matter in your life, man, just let them know you love them and you're thinking about them. I would do anything. I would do anything to be able to tell my friends that. But chance after chance after chance, they ain't going to give you another one. And you don't deserve it. So, to James, I loved working with you. I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry to his girlfriend. I feel horrible losing him. I feel horrible. because it's really hard. It's really hard to be alone, be lonely. And I always loved, he always took time to talk to me. And he was a friend. And I don't have many right now. So condolences to his family. He was a special man. He was a special man. I'll leave everyone alone now.